Okay, espresso style, quick shot introduction to data types in 2 minutes, let's go. Okay, so most programming languages don't explicitly know whether you're using a number or you're using text, whether the number's an integer, whether the number's a decimal. So we normally have to explicitly tell the programming language what type of data we're dealing with. In Python, if we put something in between the speech marks, that means it's a string. So Python thinks it's text. So here I have an example of print hello world, highlighting that it's text with the speech marks, and here is the outcome of that. In the next line here, I'm joining two strings together, two pieces of text together, by using the plus method. Now, when the plus is used within a string, that is not a mathematical operator. It simply means the word and, if you like. So I'm printing hello, and I'm printing the word world, with a space here so it appears the same. Next I have here a number within speech marks, which means Python thinks this is a string, so Python thinks this is text. So there we get the outcome of 5. To highlight this, if I do 5 and 5, we can see that we get the output of 55. If I do not put the quotation marks, so here I've left them out and we can see this is highlighted in a different colour, and Python knows this is an integer being a number with no decimal places. Here we have the outcome for that as 5. Now if I use the operator plus 5, mathematical operator, we get the answer of 10. Next, looking at floats. Floats are numbers with decimal places, and we have to either explicitly tell Python it's a float, or simply when we assign it, put the decimal places in. So here I have an example of a float, 5.543, and that's printed here. This is adding an integer to a float, and again we're returning the value as a float. Okay, so mixing strings with integers. We cannot mix a string with an integer. So for example, if I tried to do this, the integer plus the string of 5, then I would get an error. That's why I have it commented out there. However, I can say to Python, treat for this occasion the integer as a string by using the str method. In which case I could then do print the string of 5 plus hello world, and we get the outcome here, 5 hello world. Vice versa, if I have a number within a string, I can say treat the string as a number, and then we can use that to plus another number, and we can see the outcome here as 10. If, for example, you try to do the integer and it wasn't a number, then we would get an error message appear. If you want to see what data type is held, then you can just use the type method, and the type will return the class, the type of data. So by putting type of 5, you can see I've got integer, type of 5.5, float, type of hello world, a string. Okay, and lastly I can convert a float to an integer and an integer to a string by simply using the int method here. So I've got the integer of 5.55, so the integer version of the float gives me 5, and the float version of the integer would give me 5.0. So there you have it, a quick introduction to data types.